Alright guys, so bear with me today, just in case y'all didn't know, and y'all need a little refresher, or you guys are really trying to get your CDL for the first time. I'm going to run you down the basics and the easiest way to remember a pre-trip, which is your main focus on passing to get your CDL. Now, a lot of schools make it really confusing on how to do it, and don't get me wrong, it can be confusing. But I'm going to show you the most simplest way to do it. Alright, so the first thing is we're standing at the front of the truck. Forgive me, I am smoking, so. Alright, first thing we notice on the top is our clearance lights. Alright, you're going to start from the top to the bottom, from the front to the back. It's the easiest way and the best way to do this. So like I said, we're going to start at the top, which at the top you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 amber color lights. Those are your clearance lights. So we got clearance lights, and make sure those are properly mounted and secured. Not broken, not damaged, not bent, not cracked, and they are amber in color. You want to make sure you always say properly mounted and secured, and you always say it's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, missing, leaking, or frayed. Frayed is when you're only looking for hoses, but it doesn't hurt to say it. The instructor gets mad at you, say okay, move forward, and continue on. So next thing we're looking is our undercarriage here. We see looking under the vehicle, and we see that there is no debris. There's nothing blocking, nothing leaking. Everything under there that we can see as far as under this hood is properly mounted and secured. That one's simple. Don't need to worry about that too much. So we come over here to the passenger side of our vehicle. Oh, which by the way, guys, this one is an automatic. These are the new trucks that are coming out. This is the 2019 Freightliner Cascadia. One of the newer models. I know they got the 2021s out now, but a lot of them are newer, and they are switching from the stick shift to automatic. Alright, so we have our headlight lamp unit. I call it a unit. We call different other various parts and things. But as for me, I call it a headlight unit. So, make sure there's no cracks along the siding. Nope, none of this clean. Okay, so like I said, there's no haze. It's not cracked, it's not bent, it's not broken, damaged, leaking, missing. And it's clear for sight of our lights. So as you see right here, we have our, what the hell are these on these? Oh yeah, okay. It's hidden under there. But that right there is our low beams. These are our high beams. And this is our reflector. Okay? Anything that looks like a reflector, 9 times out of 10, it's a reflector. So we can make sure they're properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing. Okay, now, normally they say the next thing to do is we pop open the hood and we start on this side right here. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. I've already popped one side. We'll get this latch right here. The latches are behind here. You just take this, and then you take the lever under it. I can get it without pinching my fingers. There we go. And then you should be able to just lift right on up. There we go. It'll hold itself into place like this. Now, this one is a little bit different than what you're going to see on the Freightliners or Volvos or whatever other older model you're going to be using for your test. But it's almost the same. Okay, so then now what I do is I start at the top and I work my way to the bottom. Now this side, you don't need to remember too much. This is the easiest part of a pre-trip you're going to get. Guaranteed. Okay, so we're going to start at the top, and we have our upper radiator hose. I'm going to put my glove on here. Okay, one, put my glove on, only because it's dirty under here, and the engine is really hot because I've had it running. I've been doing a 34-hour reset. I'm here in Louisiana. So I've been doing 34-hour reset. So the truck, I've had it on optimized idle, which starts the truck during the winter time, summertime, which is almost spring. So that way, every time you turn the air on, it'll start right up. I'll show you all that in this video, just so you guys can have every understanding about this vehicle. There's stuff they don't show you. Alright, so let's start with the upper radiator hose right here. I'm just gonna give it a little squeeze here. I can feel some of the liquid inside of it, some coolant inside of it. So we're gonna make sure that that's not frayed, it's properly mounted and secure, it's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing. Of course, course, we don't see any leaks. As you can see, it's properly mounted and secured. So the next thing that I want to go to is my AC hoses. Okay, you have the upper and the lower AC hoses. We'll make sure those are properly mounted and secured. I know my camera game aid is not on tight right now, but I apologize. I'm trying to get the best shot I can. Alright, so properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, frayed, or missing. It's not leaking. And it's pretty simple. That's all you really got to say. Okay, we have our alternator. For alternator, we're going to say a little differently. Now, this is one thing you got to remember. Okay, now, there's certain things that are belt geared and both driven. So for this one, this is an alternator. It is belt driven. As you can see, it is connected to the belt. So we're going to say it's properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, it's not bent, it's not broken, it's not damaged, it's not missing. Also, our bolts are in place. If it looks like it needs to be said, 9 times out of 10, you need to say it. It's just that simple. That's how you're going to remember it. You're looking at the part, you know you see things on it, might as well say something about it. Okay, so like I said, properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, not bent, not broken, not damaged, not missing. It's not frayed, and the bolts are all in place. Now, next thing to it is our alternator belt, which is right here. Okay, no more than 3/4 inch of free play. Meaning, this thing cannot move no more than what it's really moving now, honestly. That's not really a lot, but it's kind of really tight, which is good. Properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, missing, or frayed. Now, I don't need to say leaking because there's nothing that can leak from the alternator belt. Whether you want to make a joke and say, well, something can leak. Okay, cool. Well, don't say that. You're just going to make yourself look like an idiot when you go test. All right. Second thing. Don't know if I actually said it or not, but this little joker right here, it's not really important, but it is a filter. It actually helps your AC clean itself before it gets to you. Okay, sometimes depending on your instructor, they might ask you what that is. Who cares? Okay, this right here, this is our air dryer. When you're doing your in cab, this is the thing that's gonna burst air. Okay, and that you know that is completely full. That thing has broken on me one time, and this is a new truck. Not hard to figure out. This is the most important thing. This thing right here is gonna be the main reason why you stop this big ass vehicle. All right. So, what am I missing here? See, sometimes you get off track. So, just got to get yourself... Okay. We have our vacuum hose. We have it runs from the front to the back of our tractor. You want to make sure you say that. Do not miss that whatsoever. Okay? Runs from the front to the back of our tractor. Okay? It's properly mounted and secured. It's called an exhaust vacuum. Properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing. And it's not leaking, and there is no soot, which is blackness around any part of it, indicating that there is some type of leak. Okay. And let's see, to make sure that I'm not missing anything on this side, to be exact. You don't need to worry about the steer tire or your brake chamber or anything like that unnecessarily on this side. Again, you're just trying to do the main things. Is going to be on the opposite side. On this side, you really want to say the basic, okay? So as far as me saying everything here, that will be that wrap up, and we will move to the other side of our vehicle. So, just doing a double check. You always want to double check. Just doing a double check to make sure that everything's good, that I'm looking at things correctly, and that I did not miss anything, okay? Now, in reality, after you do your test, you're going to be looking at everything, of course, on your own. While I'm right here, it does not matter if you do it, but we can do it. I just want to check your mirror, make sure it's not cracked, it's not bent, broken, damaged, or missing, that it's free of debris and clean and seeable. Okay? All right. And again, not really too important, but something that you do have to mention. You don't need to mention both of them, and when you mention one thing, you don't need to mention it again. Okay, so now that we're on this side, this is the fun part. As you can see, there's a lot more on this side than there is on the other side. So we are going to speak a lot more on what's going on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, because I said my AC hoses and my upper radiator hose on that side, it's best to come over here and start with almost the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and say I have my coolant reservoir and my lower radiator hose. Again, take it, give it a good little squeeze. Got a lower radiator hose. People want to know what this is right here. This is nothing. This is just part of your vacuum and your air lines. It has nothing to do with your coolant or nothing. So we have our lower radiator hose and our coolant, and we're gonna make sure that's properly mounted and secured. Both of these items. It's okay to combine certain things. Like for me, sometimes I'll combine my steering column, and then I'll combine my shit. I had a brain fart. My brake assembly. Sorry. All right, and my springs. It just depends, but it's okay to go one by one. Okay, so make sure probably mounted secure. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing, and it's not leaking. And because we have liquid in here, we're going to say that it is filled to the proper level, which says full or manufacturer specifications. Anytime you have liquid or air, you want to say what it's supposed to be, plus you want to also add manufacturer specifications, because this vehicle might be different from the vehicle you're driving. So they might want you to fill it up a little bit more. They might only want you to fill it up to here. It just depends. All right. So next thing we're going to go over here is our water pump, only because it's connected to one of our hoses, which is our lower radiator hose, which this isn't the lower radiator hose, but it is damn near close to it. So we have our water pump. Okay. Now the water pump is definitely gear driven. Okay. It is gear and belt driven, to be exact. That's the only thing on this truck that is both gear and belt driven. Properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing. All bolts are in place. It's not leaking. And of course, I can see it, so it is definitely looking good. Okay. So the next thing is, again, keep it basic. So we have our oil cap. Okay. And our oil stick. Always want to check those. Pull them out. Okay, check it out. See what's going on with it. Make sure it says full. Make sure that ain't leaking. Properly mounted and secured. Not bent, broken, damaged, leaking, missing, or all the above. I'm not going to really say that too much anymore, because you guys should get the gist of saying that. But this is the best way to do it. Okay? Just don't forget to say it. So again, another thing we have, anybody can tell me what this is. I mean, I know you guys know what this is. It's the power steering fluid. So, and our power steering fluid hose, which runs to our power steering gearbox. Okay, this is a gearbox. This is the pitman arm. Okay, pitman arm to the drag link. Okay, we have a cotter pin and we have our bushing right here. Okay, so I linked that all together. We're going to say properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, missing, or leaking anything. It's not frayed. Nothing's frayed. And it is filled to the proper level, which you can't see because it's really oily and dirty. So filled to the proper levels or to manufacturer specification. All right. So now the next thing we're going to go over is, this one's going to be a little tricky. You're not going to be able to see it unless you really dive deep back there. But we have our power steering pump and our air compressor, which is way back there. Now, you don't need to show them that, but you do need to point. Just point back there to see my power steering pump and my air compressor is back there. Mount it to the frame, properly mounted and secured. Say all the yes yanks, and then make sure for both of them, they're the same thing. They're gear driven. All right. So now that I have said all that, we're only down to a few more things. It's not that hard. So now that we have our spring. This is our spring. It's a leaf spring. Our U-bolt. Okay. And we have our leaf spring mounts. Front and back. Make sure you say both. Properly mounted and secured. It's not shifted, cracked, broken, damaged, missing, leaking, and no illegal welds. If it's metal, say no illegal welds. Make sure you are safe. Basically, this whole progress is about you saying that it is there and it's not broken and there is nothing wrong with it. It's that plain and simple. You don't even got to know what the part is. I mean, you do, but you can walk up and be like, yeah, it's not broken. It's not cracked. It's da-da-da-da-da. And once you say all that, they're like, okay. Well, okay. Well, what is it? Oh, that's shit, I don't know. But you don't even have to know the name of the part. Just know what it can and cannot do. You passing your test. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All right. So we have our shock absorber. Make sure it's properly mounted, secure. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing. Shock absorber is the most important thing. That's what helping you with your ride, your air ride, go up and down. You guys know exactly what that is. All right. So now we're gonna go up to the most important thing that you can possibly remember on a vehicle. And this fluctuates because when you get to the back, you're going to see the difference in this. Okay, so we have our brake hose, our ABS line, our brake chamber, okay? And then we just follow it through, okay? We have a brake drum, which is this bad boy right here. And our brake lining. The brake lining goes around the actual of the tire, so it's brake lining. Properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing. Not leaking, not frayed. And we're going to say for our brake drum, it cannot be no more, if cracked, no more than half the friction area. Our brake linings can be no less than 3/4 inch of thickness. Okay? Or 1/4 inch of thickness. I apologize. So, not hard to remember. Study. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I did. Y'all gonna be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna do what he did. Nope. Y'all need to figure out your own way and study so you can get this down pat. Okay, here we go. Alright, so now, that's it for that side. There wasn't much to that. Oh, I apologize. I did forget. These colorful hoses. These are air hoses. Okay, these air hoses are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, missing, frayed, leaking. And they are all there. Okay, simple. They look like hoses that would carry some air because they're all colorful. Alright, so now we have our steer tire. This bad boy right here. This bad boy makes me money. It's going to make y'all money too. Okay, every single one of these parts is worth some money for you because they're making you money. That's why it's most important for you to remember this stuff. You want to get a CDL, it's not that hard. Don't put your mind into it too much because then you're going to end up overdoing it, overthinking it. Don't oversay it either. You say too much, that's it. Your mind's scrambled. So we got our steer tire here. Okay, the steer tire is the most easiest thing to remember because it steers the vehicle. People got some loud music around here. Alright, so for the steer tire, we're looking at the tread. Good. Our tread depth. Make sure it's evenly worn. Probably mounted and secured. You know all that good stuff, so I ain't going to say it too much more now. We're going to make sure that it is between 100 to 110 PSI. Now, I don't know about your truck, but 9 times out of, I'm going to say 8 times out of 10, because I did see a truck that didn't have it. 8 times out of 10, like for instance, I don't think this one has it. Oh yeah, it does. You're gonna see this. 110 PSI, recommended tire pressure. Use it to your advantage. That's what it's supposed to be. 100 to 110 PSI or a manufacturer specification on air, okay? No bulges, no abrasions, and no cuts. For the stock tire itself, we have our valve stem, our lug nuts and studs, our inner and outer hub oil axle seal. Make sure it's not leaking, properly filled to the proper levels, everything's properly mounted and secured, no illegal welds because it's metal. Okay, so now let's move on to the next part. Now this is fun. This is the fun part because this is where it flies by for a moment. We have these mirrors right here. These mirrors are called California mirrors. Yes. Don't ask me why, but they're called California mirrors. You want to make sure these are properly mounted, secure. Same thing for anything with a mirror. They're clean. They're not damaged, not cracked, not missing. And it's all properly mounted and secured. Now, you can if you want, or you can wait till you get into the vehicle, which normally I do. So let's do that. Let's wait till we get to the vehicle here, okay? So the next thing I'm going to look at is my door latch, okay? Make sure that my door latches, closes, and opens properly. Alright, we have our door seal, which goes around here. Okay, all the way around. It's on there nice and good. Ooh, there's some air coming out. We have our door hinges. Okay, everything's probably mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing, and it's definitely not broken. Any of that good stuff. You guys can get that. So now again, this is where it comes down to results may vary. Okay, normally for us, your DEF tank would be in here. Of course, for us, it's not. My DEF tank is right here. So, my cap is on tight. It's properly mounted and secured. That's all you gotta say. Don't say nothing else. Don't say nothing else. Got my steps. Nothing fancy. Don't need to say nothing fancy. There's no debris. Probably mounted and secured. Boom, on to the next. Alright, now here, this is going to be all about sight. Because when you go test, they're not going to want you to open this at all. Nope. You gotta just sit there and stand there and just point and just say it. Okay? But let me show you. Yeah, it's kind of filthy in here. My bad. So you're gonna open this. This is your baggage compartment, okay? So right now I have in this box is my 3 orange reflector triangles. DOT required reflector triangles, my first aid kit, and my spare fuses are in the back. And right here, with all this junk, is my 10 BC fully charged into the green fire extinguisher. Now you want to make sure you have all that, and you want to make sure you say all that. Also say your spare fuses, even though they're not in there, because none of these vehicles really come with them anyways. All right, now here comes the real fun part. This is where it gets a little tricky because everything's congested all into this area right here that we're going to be learning, okay? But once we get past the tractor itself, everything else is easy going. We're almost done, actually, or about halfway through. So let's go here. First, we have our drive shaft and our U-bolts. Okay, U-bolts, they look like U's. All right, we have our exhaust, which sometimes because we already said exhaust in the front, runs from the front to the back. This is the back. Sometimes the instructor might say, you already said that, keep going. Okay, but still mention it. Okay, still mention it. Don't get nervous. Okay, and just keep going. So again, you already know. I'm just gonna start naming what the part is, and you guys can figure it out what it is. Now, if there's something a little different, I'll tell you. Okay, so let's go simple. We have our fuel cap and our fuel storage and our straps. Okay, we have, and I apologize if I'm going too fast. I'm going to try to go a little bit slower for you guys. Catwalk and stairs. Okay, free debris. Nothing wrong with that. We make sure you say tractor frame. And when you say tractor frame, make sure you say cross members. Cross members is something that runs across something, no matter what direction it is. And this is holding this frame together. So, cross members and tractor frame runs from front to back. Properly mounted and secured. Not illegal welded. Looking good. Okay, we have our torque arm. Our torque arm is this little skinny fella right there that runs across. All right. Now, let's run over to something that's kind of important that I want to get out of the way. Now, but because it takes a little bit of explaining to do. So, we're going to come down here, which is where the next step would be anyways. But we're going to come down here. I'm going to try to get the best screenshot of this that I can. We have right here, see, you've got the bolts. Now, these aren't the bolts that are holding this tractor frame together. No, this right here is holding up this mount. We have, now this is different. Now this right here is not just no ordinary, it's not a leaf spring, it's just a regular spring. So you have our spring mount, which is this big bad boy right here. We have our bushing. Now, we don't have a spring mount in the back. That one's held on by a U-bolt, okay? Then, I guess it wasn't too much to tell you. It wasn't too hard, just a little different. But yeah, so the U-bolt is right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. I should probably it's starting to get dark. I should probably go get my flashlight here in a second. See if we can get the tractor at least. All right, now, let's get into more definition right here to this right here. Now, this right here is our brake chamber. Now, unlike the front, this is the back. So the brake chamber back here has a C-clamp. You're not going to see the C-clamp. The C-clamp is inside of that brake chamber. Man, my ears are ringing. Yeah, so that's the only difference. You just got to make sure that you say that it's properly mounted and secured, and the C-clamp is tightly around the brake chamber. Okay. Again, the same thing. You're going to see the same exact thing when it comes to you say brake hose, ABS line, and brake drum and see, I'm losing my mind here. Brake drum and brake lining. Sorry. So you say the same thing. Okay, I don't need to explain it twice. Okay, if you need to remember it again, go back to the beginning of the video. All right. So now we have now this is tricky. This is tricky. And you're gonna see why in a minute. This right here is a splash guard. Okay, it's called a splash guard. Okay, probably mounted secure. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, missing, leaking, and it's on there. It ain't cracked. So that's all for that one. Now we're going to come over here to our drive tires. Now you only need to pick one. When you're testing, you don't need to say both of them. You only need to say one. Alright, so I'm going to choose this one. Okay, we have our drive tires and our bud spacing. The buds is the gap between both tires. Okay, properly minus good. Same thing, evenly worn. Oh, I'm sorry I did not mention this. Let me bring this back. See, if you forget something, you're allowed to do that. Just say, hey, I forgot to tell you. And then come back to it or just say it. For sear tires, the tread depth can be no less than 430 seconds. You'll understand that what that means. It's really just tread depth provided in inches, just set in seconds. Okay, now when you come back to your drive tires are the same thing, except for the only difference you're going to be saying is no less than 230 seconds. Just a little bit shorter. So no less than 230 seconds. But other than that, everything else is the same. Inner and outer hub wells to seal, lug nuts and studs, valve stem, no cuts, abrasions, bruisings, or nothing like that. And the PSIs are still 100 to 110 PSI. Same thing. And now you don't need to go over again and say this spring right here. You've already said it. Okay, now we have our airbag right here, and our airbag mount, which is holding on to the frame. Okay, properly mounted and secured. You get that, all that good stuff. I'm tired of saying it, to be honest. Okay, now, right here is our fifth wheel. Yeah, let me get my light. Hold on, guys. Alright, I got my light. Woohoo! Alright, so right here, this is our fifth wheel, right here. Alright, we have our fifth wheel, a fifth wheel skid plate, which is under here, which is already on top of the apron of the trailer. We have our safety latch, okay? We have our fifth wheel air line. We have our fifth wheel sliding plate and sliding pins. The pins, which goes into these holes, okay? There's only two of them. Make sure it's all properly mounted and secure. Now for here, you're gonna say the same thing, but the only thing you say difference is that it's fully greased and that there is no gap between the apron, which is around the kingpin, which is on top of the fifth wheel. So the only thing you're gonna say different here is that what you're gonna add on is that that there's no gap between the apron and the fifth wheel. Okay. Trying to give you all the information that I can, as simple as I can, to make it easier for you to understand. So right here, we have our mud flaps. See, there's the difference right there. That's a mud flap. Anything else you're going to see going along this vehicle is a mud flap. So we have our mud flap right here. Okay, same thing. And then there is another airbag for you to see with the airbag mount. Now, it's good to get up under here. Okay, right here we have our reverse light, our brake light. Now, when you have these lights, for the brake light, you're going to say, also a reflector here. But the other thing you're going to say is when you're saying anything about lights, you'll say four-way flashers, turn signals, marker lights, and whatever the light is at the moment. So mine right here would be brake lights. So I didn't say that, but you have to say that too for the turn signal. So as you can see, I don't know if I can get it good, but right there's the kingpin. And it is locked around the locking jaw. Okay, so you want to say that, locked on the locking jaw, problem on, secured. Since we're under here, let's go ahead and do this right. This right here is our trailer floorboard, okay? Make sure that there's not dry rotting and it's not falling apart. Okay, now we have our trailer handle, crank handle, and we have our landing gear. We're going to make sure that's all properly mounted, secured, yada, yada, yada. Y'all get that understanding. And we're going to make sure that there is adequate space. Adequate space. There's a cross member. See? There it is. We're going to make sure there is adequate space between our landing gear and the rear of our tractor. Or you can say the back of our drive tires. Oh, come on, light. This light's been going out. Oh, well. It'll come back on in a minute. Come on. Stupid light. Look at that. Keeps breaking. Alright, so make sure I'm not forgetting nothing. Yeah, I did forget something. See? Look at that. Look at me. I'm getting forgetful, guys. Okay, let's go to the front of our tractor. Now, this right here is a refrigerated unit. Now, I don't know what you're going to be hauling, but for me, I haul anything that needs to be cold as shit. Okay? So, we have right here our air lines. We have our emergency. And it's going to tell you, look at that, it's got an E on it. emergency, electrical, and service airline. See, look at that S. Okay, and the glad hands. Glad hands are the actual piece, and then the rubbers inside. Okay, all properly mounted and secured. Cracked, bent, broken, damaged, missing, not frayed, all the good stuff. Now we got the front of the header board, which is the front of our trailer. Okay, properly mounted, secured. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing. At the top, you're not gonna be able to see it, of course, but there, you can see one of them. But on the front, there is more clearance lights. Okay, anything on the top of a vehicle or trailer is clearance lights. Make sure you say every single part of them. Clearance lights, amber in color. Okay, again, clearance light, marker light, four-way flasher, turn signal, properly mounted and secured, and it's amber in color. That was kind of a little broke, but it still works. Okay, and then you're gonna say this: you got the side of your trailer. Okay, properly mounted and secured. And the DOT reflective tape right here. It goes alongside your whole trailer. Alright, everything's properly mounted and secured. Here, all these crickets out here. It's starting to get dark. You guys are watching it get dark right now. What else am I missing? I'm not missing nothing. This you ain't gotta worry about. Unless your trailer is equipped with one, then you could say something about that. Okay, now I would normally go that way, but as you can see, my path is kind of weird. I wouldn't want to go that way because it's gonna be kind of hard to show you guys things. So we're gonna go around the opposite side of the trailer. Now, same thing, just the opposite side of the trailer. That's all. Okay. So at least over here, I got room to show y'all some things. Okay. Same thing, on this side. Get all the same things. My flaps. DOT flap tape. Now, this is where the most important part comes. Okay, you have again your amber light, four-way flasher, turn signal, marker light, and make sure it's amber in color. It's not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or missing. Okay. So, well, I am gonna have to go to the other side because I gotta show you guys the ABS light. But okay, well, let's start off with here. Now you got your trailer tires, same exact thing as your drive tires. No more than 2 seconds. No more than 2 30 seconds. And everything else is going to be exactly the same, no matter how it looks, okay? So you choose one of those trailer tires and you say it. Same thing, you're going to go through the same thing, okay? Now, there's not much back here to talk about. See, it's kind of hard for me to get under here because I have this apron here. Because everything I own is up at the front here. So, let's see if I can get through to the back. Not really. Okay, we're going to work with this. Work with me, guys. Okay, well, yeah, really can't see too much. Okay, well, look, guys, it's the same thing in the back. You have your brake chamber. With your C-clamp, you have your air ride. This one's an air ride, so I don't have a spring suspension on here. I do have air ride, so, which means is, I got an airbag and an airbag mount. So, and then that's all you would have to say. Same thing. I'm really showing you the same thing. The trailer is going to be the same thing as, literally, there's really no difference. Mud flap. Okay, now,